welcome to Powerful Couple Journey, where we talk about immigration process, especially with the J1 waiver journey that we took. Now, I'm going to share to you this video that is specifically for those teachers that are seeking for J1 waiver and how to avoid denial. Recently, with the J1 Waiver Helping Hands group, we have seen a lot of denials, and I'm so sad that it had happened to them, especially that they spent a lot of money when it comes to paying the immigration lawyer. I have a lot of teachers that reached out to me about this, and they are so sad at the same time. They are really feeling down since they are not just paying thousands of money, but they're also thinking that they could stay here with their US citizen spouse. In our case, in the year 2021, my husband and I filed through exceptional hardship with my US citizen spouse through do-it-yourself process. It's not easy because nobody taught us the process, nobody gave us the ideas and how to do it. But the main thing that I am so thankful is this: we work together. My husband is very good when it comes to the coming up of or making of words and semantics. We call it battle of semantics. And in my part, I did all the research, and there's not a lot of information in the internet. There's really scarcity of information. And when you read the US CIS and Department of State website before, this is not with a lot of information. They do not give you the paperwork to submit that will help you with your evidences. But I'm so thankful that there are also information through Google about how to avoid denial when it comes to J1 waiver. And one of which is making your statement very strong and very compelling. And you need to show commingling. That is the thing. And also have a third person that is a licensed professional that could show or vouch your relationship. Just like what we have. We have our psychological evaluation through our psychotherapist. Also, we have medical. Hello, Enrique Hernandez. Thank you so much for watching this live video. I really appreciate you. This is specifically for teachers, J1 teachers, or J1 visa holders that are seeking for J1 waiver. And I'm really dedicated to do this because I've seen a lot of denials, and it's heartbreaking that they spend too much money. So number one, please do your psychological evaluation. Why is it very important? Because you need to have a third party person that is a licensed professional to do your psychological assessment and psychological evaluation. Next, if your spouse have severe to mild medical condition like having anxiety and depression, you name it, then have a medical doctor diagnose your spouse. And you need to really tell your American husband that you need this process because the J1 waiver is not easy to do. Even though you have a lawyer, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. So with the J1 Waiver Helping Hands group, they really are so devastated. Some of them, I mean, this week is too much. There's a lot of denials. I am so sad with what is happening. But based on our own experience, please make sure to have a psychological evaluation. We are so blessed, my husband and I, because he already is seeing a psychotherapist prior for us to have this hardship waiver. So with that, we only pay for the psychological evaluation, which is worth, I think that was 4,000, no, $400. And we don't spend thousands of dollars when it comes to the assessment because his aunt is helping him to seek this psychotherapist to really just talk about emotions or grief or the past, and that way he could let go. And that is what we used. We connect that one in my case, saying that if my spouse will not have me in his presence here in the US, what will happen to him? He will go back to his old habits and he will have the tendency to not trust women anymore. So that is what we put in our psychological evaluation. And Ricardo Abello, thank you so much for going to our live video. I really appreciate you. So this is about immigration process with the J1 waiver. I know there's not a lot of people watching my live video. It's okay. I'm here to share and I'm really here to give information about our do-it-yourself process because it's not easy to pay thousands of dollars for the lawyer just to give you a denial letter. And what is very hard for J1 waivers to get a denial letter is this. Once you submit your exceptional hardship waiver and you get a denial with exceptional hardship, you can't submit EH again. You will need to find another grounds for waiver. So it's very hard. You need to make it right in the first time. So please follow along and listen very well. We did it ourselves. We didn't have any immigration lawyer, but we seek for consultation and we paid for a consultation for this one. So all of our ideas are not just based on us for the research, from the research rather, but it's also based on the ideas of other lawyers that we asked, but we didn't really pay them because we're just paying them through consultation just one time, and the rest is just like a subscription through Legal Shield. And I don't really recommend them too much because it's like you just ask questions and they don't really there to support you, give you ideas, or anytime you need them. But hey, I can't really nag about it because I'm just paying like monthly subscriptions, and I took that route for 2 years, and I'm so thankful that I'm now a green card holder. Now, again, please, as much as possible, avoid a denial letter from the USCIS and not an N that is not favorable recommendation from the Department of State. So aside from psychological evaluation, do a medical letter, then also submit your financial situation through your budget and your joint bank account. If your spouse is needing your presence here in the US because you're paying for car or car insurance, or you're also having this rental house, or you're having some credit card debts together, joint, something like that, make sure that you are documenting everything and put that one into writing, and make sure your love story is also in place. So put all the information there, not just one, but a lot. Overwhelm the USCIS and the Department of State with your information. Do not rely on just one hardship. I didn't even know what kind of statement or hardship we got approved because I'm telling you right now, we have a lot of hardships we submitted. First, psychological hardship or emotional hardship, financial hardship, educational hardship, um, job security here and in the Philippines, if my husband will accompany me to go there and work, and myself, I can't work right away because I need to do the ranking. Safety, crime, poverty, everything. We put it there. So do not rely on just one statement, rely on so many things, and always put in mind the totality of circumstances. A lot of the J1 teachers seeking for an exceptional hardship waiver is asking, how many years did it took you in order for you to get your waiver and get your green card? It took me 2 years. So that is the process. From Form I-612, it will take a year. Then they will have an advisory opinion from the Department of State. So make sure you submit your DS-335 already. Once your case is on hold with the Form I-612, there is a huge possibility that you're going to get a favorable recommendation and approval. They're just holding it back from the USCIS with your Form I-612 and Form I-613. That way they can get a favorable recommendation from the Department of State. And don't you know the Department of State is just waiting for the USCIS for their approval? So come to think of it, make sure you already got all of the information. Now with your Form I-612, that is the waiver submitted to the USCIS, and your DS-335 submitted to the Department of State, all of them has the same evidences. The difference is the address. Now I have a J1 teacher just messaged me like an hour ago that they mistakenly put their Form I-612 with the address of DS-335. I'm like, how does it, how, how did it happen? There's a different packet for Form I-612 with all of the information. There's also different packet for DS-335 with all the information. But you know what you're going to do with this? Do not just do it by yourself. Let your spouse get involved. Do not get overwhelmed with all the information in the internet. Do not get overwhelmed with you just working alone. If you're a Filipina and you're just working this on by yourself and you feel like, oh, I can do it myself. Yes, you can. We Filipinas can do it. There's no question about that. But do you have the support system? You cannot do it by yourself. You need the letters, psychological evaluation, letter from your medical doctor, even if friends and family. Make sure they have a letter stating that you have commingling and you love each other. If they do not want to make a letter for you, then make a letter for them to sign. So please make sure you give them all the information and put tabs. That way, when you claim in your statement that you love your spouse so much and your family members here in the US, his family members, especially if you have a husband, US citizen husband, that they also care and they know and they can vouch your relationship, then you state there, based on the letter from my mother-in-law or from my father-in-law or from this person or our colleague or our friends and family, we have commingling and we love each other, and there's a hardship, extreme hardship, once I got imposed with a 2-year home residency requirement to go back to my home country. So those are the words that you have to put. Now, some of you are saying that, how about this, Emery? We have a very strong case because my spouse has an open heart surgery, and that's a medical hardship already. Yes, it is. But come to think of it, it's not just one hardship that they're looking for. They're looking for the totality of circumstances. Always put that one in mind, that we don't have any denials. It's like this: put the USCIS as a bull. They are not going to be tamed, and you are asking for them for their favor. So what you're going to do? Put them in a cage. Your cage are your evidences: medical hardship, financial hardship, psychological hardship or emotional hardship, work hardship, you name it. Put everything into paper and put all your evidences. And again, you need to have a third person or a third party that makes it more compelling and stating that your evidences is very conveying in the paper. Some of you are saying, oh, we have lots of pictures. Yes, they love that. Even in the petition, even K1 visas, they have pictures. They have Form I-485, they have Form I-130, they have Form I-765, because that's the process. But the 212E rule to your home residency requirement is a cancer to the J1 visa holders, especially if your home country is still part of the 2024 revised skills list. Unfortunately, the Philippines is part of that. You know why? Because our gross domestic product is very low right now, or even before then, in the year 2019. Not unless you are part of a different country, then most of them are already out of the skills list, just like India, China, and I think Jamaica. I'm not really sure, but there are countries that are already out, like Thailand. They're already out from the 2024 skills lists. But if you feel like you don't have anywhere else to go, and if you feel overwhelmed, please reach out. We have J1 Waiver Helping Hands group that can help you and give you ideas. We are not immigration lawyers, but we can vouch through our own experiences and we can vouch through our own success with the immigration through the exceptional hardship waiver with our US citizen spouse and or US citizen children. There are also people there that submitted for persecution, asylum, and the 13.01 P code that is not part of the skills list. So there are a lot of ideas that you can get there. There's also interested government agency, which is if you're part of the BIE school. So again, you have a lot of options. But if you got married to your US citizen spouse or if you have a US citizen child, all you can get, number one, is exceptional hardship waiver. And please don't lose that chance. We have a waiver. Don't you know a waiver? They don't want to give a waiver. That's number one. They don't want to give a waiver. The USCIS is not your friend. You need to convince them to give you that waiver. That's why we need to overwhelm them with our evidences. Now, some of you are saying, well, I'm just going to start with my commingling, which is having a joint bank account or having a different, like, joint papers with my spouse if we got married already. Well, that's okay. But in our case, based on my own experience, we have a joint bank account the moment or after a day we got engaged because that's how we love each other and we wanted to show that our relationship is real and we have our joint bank account through a credit union and it's not hard because my fiance during the time which is my husband now is already part of the credit union so all he needs to do is to bring me there with my ID and we're going to have a joint bank account. How much did we put? $50. That's not how big it is. But we started with the first day because we know the moment we have to do that one, it's super important to show to the USCIS immigration officer who's handling our case that we are really real people and we are wanting to build this family together here in the US without fulfilling the 2-year rule. So again, for those that are seeking for exceptional hardship waiver, please put in mind success on the first try. Repeat with me, success on the first try. You need to do the one. Convince the USCIS officer through your paper. Convince the Department of State through your paper. What are the forms to submit? Form I-612 to the USCIS and DS-335 to the Department of State. Some of you are asking, can you walk me through the process? Well, the process is already there in the system. It's already there in the uscis.gov and travel.state.gov. But if you are confused, go to powerfulcouplejourney.com, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we are going to give you ideas. Please leave a comment because I'm really willing to help. Of course, we have templates that we can show you, and these templates are to support our mountain pastors that we are helping in the Philippines through powerfulcouplejourney.com. And a lot of you are praying for this because it's going to be a success that we are helping the mountain pastors in the Philippines to give and share the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ through this website, powerfulcouplejourney.com. Look at the checklist. If you wanted to try, look at the proper way of sequencing. And some of you are asking, can I submit my form I-612 and DS-35 first? Yes, you can. And then you can I submit my form I-130 after a month? Yes, you can. Or can I submit my form I-130 first? Yes, that's what we did. Then after a few days or few weeks, we submitted the form I-612. Nobody told me that I had to submit my DS-35 during that time. That's why we have to wait for more months. It even took us 15 months to wait for that. But you know what? It's all a success because God is with us and God knows that our relationship is legit. And the after effect would be helping other J1 teachers to share, to be there, to be present, and giving them hope. We did this through DIY without lawyer. We saved almost $20,000. We only spent for the forms. We only spent for the mailing. And during our interview, we spent for a hotel to stay because we need to be there at a certain hour in the morning, which is an early morning. And we had the interview for the Form I-130 petition, and we got approved right away. And by the way, if you are married to your US citizen spouse and he is very willing to give you like insurances or the will, my husband is really good and I really love him, not just him being a provider, but I know he's really a God's gift. And don't you know, my husband put me as sole beneficiary for his 401k and all his assets. So in the will, I'm already there. The moment we give that to the immigration officer, she said, okay, this is enough, it's enough proof. I am going to grant your petition. See, if your husband is like that, and you know that your husband or your US citizen spouse is really willing to help you, please let them understand the complexity and how hard it is to get a J1 waiver. Some of you are so confident that you have your lawyer. Of course, because you don't have a lot of anxiety and you don't have to see a lot of requests for evidences. But I'm telling you, it's not enough to have a lawyer. You need to read your own letter and case number. And think of this, overwhelm the USCIS and Department of State with all your evidences. Do not keep anything. Show them through paperwork. And of course, make it presentable, like you're making a thesis or you're having a dissertation or you're having your what comprehensive examination where you're gonna have to put all your brains there. I used to be a J1 I used to be a teacher in the Philippines and I have my master's degree and I know how to make a thesis. I know how to make letters or something that I can put together in a binder in a book. So I use those experiences. I may not be a school teacher now here in the US, and I'm so thankful because it took some relief. Now I'm working as a state government, but hey, I'm a state employee in a state government here in Florida, but I'm still here, willing to help because not a lot of people in the internet, especially YouTube, are sharing information about J1 waiver. Most of them are lawyers, of course, but they tend to ask for consultation fee or lawyer's fee. But for us, it's free. Go to J1 Waiver Helping Hands group and we will accept you immediately once you agree to group rules. And we're sharing a lot of information there because we want to help and we want you to get enlightened. But of course, it's your choice. If you wanted to get approved through your lawyer or if you want to get approved through asking other people through their do-it-yourself process. And Emery is here to help. Also, I'm going to be asking for my husband's presence soon when it comes to sharing information because I know most of our viewers are really longing to see him. When we had our videos from the Philippines, there's a lot of views, like thousands of views. But when it comes to me, it's only like hundreds. Like, what's happening? And then he just giggles. I'm so thankful to God with all these experiences and sharing my ideas to you. For Enrique and Ricardo, thank you so much for coming to our live video. We are here to listen, we are here to help, here to inspire, uplift, and motivate you through our website POWELLFULCOUPLEJOURNEY.com with our J1 waiver templates. And we hope that you like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please click the notification bell. That way you'll be notified for more videos that we will share about immigration process through J1 waiver and at the same time overall life here in the US. The next live video I'm going to do will be on Thursday, and it's all about USA living, real talk, things like that. And I'm also active on Facebook, Emmary T. Powell. Please subscribe there. They have some reels, videos, and I'm really wanting to share. So just tune in, and thank you so much for coming here. I really appreciate you. Thank you for all the eyes that is watching right now and tuning to our YouTube channel. God bless and see you in the next video. Bye.